Entering into the new decade of Yu-Gi-Oh!, the meta remained unchanged since the release of Hidden Arsenal near the end of 2009. While many cards that would be meta impactful were released in Stardust Overdrive, many of them were simply too early to be played in the capacity that they would be later on. SJC Los Angeles would take place in January with similar results as late 2009, with Twilight and Lightsworn builds still dominant in the meta. Duelist Pack Yusei 2 would release the beginning of the Synchron Toolbox, bringing new life to Quick Draw Synchron through Junk Archerer. Absolute Power Force would be the first core set of the year, bringing support to Gravekeepers, X-Saber, and bringing in a card that ends the battle phase when you're attacked directly, Battle Fader. With this set release, the meta was gearing towards a major format shift, complemented by the structure deck following just a week later. Machina Mayhem would release major support for machine monsters. Machina Fortress, Gearframe, and Peacekeeper were some of the best machines printed up until this point. These cards would become a splashable engine in any machine deck moving forward. The Shining Darkness would be the last core set to be released before Worlds of 2010, giving a boost to Frog, Infernity, and X-Saber archetypes. Frogs received Ronin Totem, a monster who was able to revive itself from grave by banishing any frog that is already in the grave. This would be the piece to break frogs out of just another engine and into the range of an FTK deck, as while it wouldn't be immediately recognized as such, Frog FTK would quickly become one of the most consistent FTKs in the entire game's history. Which leads us into Worlds 2010. The World Championship would be held in Long Beach, California, on August 14th through the 15th. The weekend was dominated by Frogs and Blackwings, which would be featured in the finals of the event. Galileo Obaldia piloted his Frog FTK deck to first place, beating out Vincent Paglia, who mained Blackwing. Despite losing the first game to Vincent, Galileo would bounce back and win the final 2 games to take the whole match. In this series, both Christian and myself will be wandering through the corridors of Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Each episode, we will uncover past formats and unlock new strategies as new champions were crowned. Buckle up, because anything is possible. Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Clash of Champions. Alright, so got a little cocky, got a little overconfident in my Blackwing capabilities last episode, and now we are 5-2 against Christian. We're in the hat of shame once again, unfortunately, but in one of the rare occasions, we do get a redemption, and we get to play Blackwing yet again in a back-to-back World Championship deck. Now I could not find Vincent Paglia, who came in second place with his Blackwings. I could not find his deck list. So instead we are playing the 4th place Blackwing deck, which is piloted by Kim Tae-woo. So this will be a little interesting. We're a few notches down below from the 2nd place, but that is okay. I feel so confident in myself with Blackwings that I think we will be able to come out on top, because we are not flinching in this matchup. Especially because Christian, he's playing Frogs for the first time here. Now he's looked up a few things here and there, and he's a very quick learner, but we will show him exactly our capabilities of a Blackwing pilot. So without further ado, we are playing one copy of Vayu, the Emblem of Honor. followed by 1 copy of Gale, the Whirlwind. Then we have 3 copies of Blizzard. Very solid, very solid. Next up, we have 3 copies of Sirocco. So we do have the possibility of doing a nice little Vayu Turbo kind of deal, although we don't really have Dark Gruff or Armageddonite or those guys in here. We got 3 copies of Shura the Blue Flame, followed by 3 copies, of course, of Kalut, one of the best hand traps of this era, I would say. 3 copies of Bora the Spear, and 1 copy of Gores, of course, followed by 1 copy of Dark Arm Dragon, because everything's a dark, so might as well put Dad in there, right? I mean, he's one of the best ones out there. Going into our spells, we got 3 copies of Black Whirlwind, pretty much the most powerful spell card for Blackwings. I think realistically the only spell card for Blackwings. I mean, other support cards probably aren't as strong anyways. I mean, you're able to just get a Blackwing to hand that's less than the attack of whatever you normal summon, so get 3 of those out, and you're getting yourself 3 monsters, so not bad. Next up, we got 1 copy of Allure of Darkness, followed by 1 copy of Brain Control, followed by 2 copies of Book of Moon, a Heavy Storm, a Mystical Space Typhoon to round out the spells, then our very powerful 3 copies of Icarus Attack, followed by 2 copies of Bottomless Trap Hole, followed by 2 copies of Royal Oppression, which will be very powerful against frogs since they all kind of special summon each other out, so pretty good there. Copy of Mere Force, copy of Solemn Judgment, be able to negate one of Christian's powerful summons, a copy of Torrential Tribute, copy of Deck Devastation Virus, 1 Starlight Road, and 1 Trap Dust Shoot to round out the main deck. Trap Dust Shoot definitely going to help us out in getting some of those frogs we don't want to see quite yet that are in Christian's hand back into the deck. So going into the extra deck, we got 1 copy of Magical Android. Pretty good for this matchup because we're able to boost up our life points a little bit since this is a FTK. Catastor, 1 copy of Brio. Then we got 2 Blackwing Armed Wing. We got our Goyo Guardian, of course. We got 2 copies of Blackwing Armor Master. We got our Black Rose. You know, it's Black Rose. We need it in every deck. Then we got our Silverwind the Ascendant. Kind of a newer one. Stardust Dragon. We got our Thought Ruler Archfiend. Colossal Fighter. And our Mistworm to round out the extra deck. Now that we're finally into Synchros, which is kind of crazy. 2003 still feels like yesterday. Alright, for the side deck, we got 2 DD Crows. Very solid for getting those pesky frogs out of Christian's graveyard. We got not 1, but 2 copies of Thunder King Ryo. Followed by 2 copies, which is super good, of Soul Release. Be able to banish off those frogs in the graveyard. Get them out of here so Christian can't set up anything. Then we got 2 Nolman of Crossout. Again, another good thing to, banish off Christian's frogs. Then we got 2 copies of Bait Doll, card I have not seen in forever. So 2 copies of that, followed by 1 copy of My Body's a Shield, followed by 2 copies of Pulling the Rug, a second Deck Devastation Virus, and a Mind Crush, because a lot of searching does happen, so we're able to play that. Especially around this time, just in the meta overall. We are coming off of Edison with this, because this is August 2010, and Worlds tends to have kind of a different list anyways. But, yeah, there's a lot of good decks floating around right now. Of course, Blackwings and people trying to pilot off a Frog FTK or a Frog Monarch are super big around this time. But like I said, we are not flinching. We are going to go full steam ahead, full Blackwing ahead, flying at Christian, and we will get this hat off and put it right back on his head.
Okay, so we're back for the 2010 World Championship. I decided to play the first place deck, which is a Frog Burn, run by Galileo de Obadiah. I wonder if he was able to pull off the first turn kill in any one of his duels. Okay, we're gonna start with the monsters, which are 99% frog. So we'll get the non-frog card out of the way first. Fishborg Blaster, little tuner, some tuner action. 2 Treeborn Frogs. Those are nice. Can jump out of the grave if you remember not to skip your standby phase accidentally. 3 subs to Toads. So this is nice. Can basically summon him, tribute himself to pull a frog out of your deck. Ideally, I think it'd be Swap Frog. 2 Ronin Totems. So I did my research, and apparently this is the card that allows you to just do the FTK with Mass Driver, because you can just keep pulling him out of the graveyard indefinitely, as long as you have a frog to banish in your graveyard, and then just keep tributing him with Mass Driver. 3 Poison Draw Frogs. So this, if you tribute it with Mass Driver, you get to draw a card. If you tribute it with Swap Frog, you get to draw a card. 3 Unifrogs. And now this has an effect where if you've got another frog on the field, he can attack directly and you can destroy a spell or trap. I don't think you're ever really going to use that effect necessarily. It's just to have another frog in the deck. Particularly a level 2 or lower Aqua Frog. 3 Flip-Flop Frogs. And when this card is flip face up, oh, you can flip this card. See, I don't think you're going to really be using any of these effects. They're just in there because they're frogs. 3 Dupe Frogs. Someone told me that if you get 2 Dupe Frogs on the field, your opponent can't attack any of your monsters, which is nice, because the Dupe Frogs protect themselves with their effect. Protect each other. And 3 Swap Frogs. This is going to be the starter. It's a very interesting card. It has so many effects, and it was a common when it was first printed. Beezle Frog, another frog that effect doesn't matter, it's just a frog. And 2 Des Frogs, same thing, effect doesn't matter, it's just a frog. Just a frog to get in your grave and then banish for Ronin's effect. So now we're going to start with the spell cards. There's no traps in this deck, just all spells. 1 for 1. Yep, special send 1 monster from your... So you get a frog in the graveyard and you can pull a frog out of your deck. Heavy Storm. Giant Trunade. Card Destruction. Need cards like that in this deck because you really need to draw into Mass Driver and Ronin Totem. 3 Salvages. Pull a Swap Frog or a Poison Draw Frog out of your graveyard. 3 Hand Destructions. Once again, you just need to keep getting through that deck to pull out the Mass Driver. The Hand Destruction, I did learn, if you don't have 2 cards in your hand, or if your opponent doesn't have at least 2 cards left in their deck, you can't activate Hand Destruction. 2 Mass Drivers. Tribute to inflict 400 points of damage. And 3 Moray of Greed. Which just makes me want to build a water deck just because of this card. You get to draw 3 cards. Shuffle 2 water monsters from your hand into your deck to draw 3 cards, like, come on. Okay, once again, no traps, just frogs and Fishborg Blaster and spell cards. So now let's start with the extra deck. 2 Armory Arms. I never did pick up this card because when I was playing with Synchros it was just too expensive. But it was always in the deck list it was always in the extra deck list for for decks I was building back then, so it must be pretty good. Ally of Justice Catastor. Brionac, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Goyo Guardian. Turbo Warrior. 2 Duloran, Tiger King of the Ice Barrier, so that's nice. 1 or more non-tuner waters. He's, all the frogs are water. Black Rose Dragon. Nitro Warrior. Junk Archer. Stardust Dragon. Junk Destroyer. Colossal Fighter. And Mistworm. So I think that with this deck you can get a lot of low-level frogs onto the field at one time. So if you happen to have that, and you also have Fishborg Blaster, you could potentially go into these extra deck monsters, but I really don't think that the extra deck is going to be playing a large part in these duels. But you never know. So, side deck. Side deck will just get the 3 traps out of the way. 2 Royal Decrees. Maybe he'll side that in if he knows he's going to be going second. No, that wouldn't really make sense. I don't know why he would have a Royal Decree. I guess that's why it's in his side deck. And a Treacherous Trap Hole. A couple spells in his side deck too. He's got Brain Control, he's got Cold Wave, and he's got a Mystical Space Typhoon. Side deck monsters. He's got an additional Fishborg Blaster, 2 Hanuatas. It's been a long time since I've seen this card. During either player's turn, so that's nice. 2 Quick Draw Synchrons. 2 Cyber Dragons. And 2 Light and Darkness Dragons. Okay, I know I'm going to be going up against a Blackwing deck, so I don't know if I'm going to be... I don't really side. I never built a side deck when I was dueling. I never really felt like I needed one, I guess. I don't know. I'm glad I did my research, so... I think I have a good idea of... I just need to draw a Mass Driver. I just need to draw a Mass Driver, and then start getting frogs in the grave, and then get Ronin Totem in the grave, and then just keep bringing them back and tributing. So, if I can draw a Mass Driver, I think I can beat Rob's Blackwing deck. Well, and you'll get to see if I do or not, and if I have to put the hat back on. So, we'll see you at the duel table.
Alright, buddy. Not pleased about this. Blackwings failed me once. Let's see if they'll redeem themselves this time.
Yeah. I didn't even take that into account when I picked the frog deck. I just wanted to play the frog deck.
Yeah, well, there's Blackwings, and apparently can't find the second place,
Actually,
so it's the third place.
You roll first.
Okay. Gladly. 5.
Alright. Easy.
Damn, 10. Okay.
Alright. So Frog FTK, cut my deck. I'm going to go first, and I'm just going to beat you.
Did you cut mine?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to win on the first turn, because it's Frog FTK, so...
I don't like that.
I can draw 6 still?
Yep.
Okay. Alright.
That goes on for quite a while.
Okay. Alright, let's see here.
Oh boy. I'm not pleased about this. This is scary.
So I'll discard Treeborn Frog to special summon Swap Frog.
Okay.
And then I'll use his effect when he's summoned to send a level 2 or lower water aqua monster from my deck to the graveyard.
Jeez, I wonder what frogs are.
I guess I'm going to send another Treeborn. Just send another Treeborn. Should have looked up how this FTK is supposed to work, because I don't know.
I've seen it done, I just don't know the line.
Okay.
The line of play. I have an idea, but I don't want to tell you it.
Okay. Alright, so that was a special summon. So I'll return him to the hand.
Okay.
I'll set that. I'll normal summon Poison Draw Frog. Yeah, I am. I'll discard Beezle Frog to special summon Swap Frog. And then I can send another... Oh, cool. When this card is summoned, you can send one level 2 or lower water monster from your deck or face-up field to the graveyard. So I'll send Poison Draw Frog to the graveyard, and when he's sent from the field to the graveyard, unless it was attacked while face down and destroyed as a result of battle, I can draw a card. And that's probably where it's going to stop. Okay, your turn.
All right.
This is like,
That's
it's kind of interesting.
slow roll to learn. All right.
Yeah.
I will draw. I will... I'll normal summon Blizzard, the Far North.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll special summon, since I control a Blackwing. Blackwing Bora, the Spear. And then I will synchro summon. I'll go into Brionac,
Oh,
Dragon of the Ice Barrier.
okay.
And I will discard
Oh, I gotta set up the life points.
Torrential Tribute
Ooh.
to bounce your face down back to your hand. I'll enter battle.
Mm-hmm.
Let me read Swap Frog. She doesn't have any other.
He doesn't.
Okay.
You don't have any reason to believe me, but he doesn't.
I'll have Brionac attack for 1,300. And then I'll set 2 cards, and then go ahead.
I'll activate Salvage.
So return them to your deck?
I'll return them to my hand.
Hand, okay.
Target 2 water monsters with 1,500 or less in my graveyard.
I think that's Murray of Greed I'm thinking of that returns it and then you draw.
Yeah, and then you get to draw, I think, 3.
Maybe.
I think you draw 3.
I mean, it is a very greedy card.
I'll do Swap and Poison Draw.
Okay.
I'll activate Heavy Storm.
Well, that didn't help me at all. Because Royal Oppression would have stopped all this.
Oh man.
You missed that, huh?
I missed that.
Yep.
I missed that. Alright. I guess I'm gonna discard Dupe to summon Swap.
Okay.
When this card is summoned, I can send a level 2 or lower water monster.
Ronin Totem.
Rodin Totem.
Point the name.
Yeah. Once per turn, you can return one monster you control the hand. Normal summon in addition. Okay. I'll use Run Totem's effect and I'll banish Treeborn to special summon him.
Okay.
And then I'll use Swap Frog's other effect to bounce Ronin Totem, and then I have an additional normal summoner set.
Okay.
So I'll set that, and I'll play Poison Draw. Your turn.
Alright. I will draw for turn.
Don't know what to do.
Yeah, let's see. What should I do? This is a real question here. Man. Okay, I am going to summon Kalute. So then I can special summon Gale.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll synchro summon. I'll summon... I guess Goyo.
Okay.
Then I'll enter battle.
Okay.
I'll have Yugioh attack Swap Frog for 1800. And then Goyo's effect, I'll just take it. Then have Brio attack Poison Draw for 2200. I think it's only when he's face down.
No, it's when he's not face down, or when he can only.
Oh yeah. Okay, my bad. Yeah, and then go ahead.
Alright.
I guess.
Yeah. I don't... And activate Salvit? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Stand by. I can't do it anyway because I control a monster, right?
I think it's only if you control Spell or Trap.
Oh yeah, no spell or trap. Alright, I'm standing by. I'm going to use Treeborn Frog now. Then I'm going to go in main phase and activate
There you
Salvage.
go. There you go.
And this card gains Tadpole, Dupe Frog. I'm going to do Dupe Frog, Poison Draw.
Okay, okay,
I'm going to summon Poison Draw.
okay,
I'm going to discard Ronin Totem to special summon Swap Frog.
okay.
I'll use Swap's effect when he's summoned.
Swap
to-
one back to your hand to normal summon. Or no, to dump.
No, I think I can send one level 2 or lower water from my deck or face up field to the graveyard, so I'll send Poison Draw to draw one.
Okay.
Play one card face down. Well, I guess I'll flip summon Substitoad.
I figured that was the one face down, because I knew he's got 2000 defense.
I'll use his effect, and I'll tribute one monster to special summon one frog monster from my deck.
Okay.
I don't know. Someone frog monster. I'll special summon Swap Frog.
Alright. Sounds good.
I'll send Substitoad to the graveyard.
I mean, it's probably good to get a 100 attack monster off the field.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Once per turn, blah blah blah. I got nothing.
Alright.
Your turn.
We'll draw. I'll use Brio's effect and I'll discard Kalute to bounce your face down back to your hand.
Alright.
And then I'll shift my Swap Frog to attack. And then I'll enter battle. And have Swap Frog attack the defense position Swap Frog. And then have Brio attack Swap Frog. And then Yugioh Guardian attack directly.
Alright, that's game.
Alright, there we go. Alright, buddy, it is your choice. Game 2.
I will go first.
Okay. Sounds goody, goody, goody. Let's see if we can pull off this FTK.
I'll start with Substitoad and I'll tribute him.
Okay.
God, these cards really these fucking Mories of Greed really like being right next to each other.
Just draw right into the other.
That'd be nice. So I'll go with a Swap Frog.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna send level 2 or lower Aqua from my deck. Or face up field to the graveyard, so I just send Reborn.
Classic.
Yeah.
Not bad, not bad.
I'll return him.
You'll swap him?
I'll swap him. I'll swap him. I'll tribute Substitoad
Okay.
to special summon a frog monster except Frog the Jam.
Damn. I forget what his name is now.
I'll do
It's
another
like
swap frog.
something Toad, I think.
Toad the Jam.
Frog the Toad.
Frog the Toad. Oh yeah, and then let's see. Send a level 2 or lower Aqua. I'll send another level 2 or lower Aqua from my deck to the graveyard.
Picking up some traction here.
Your turn.
Alright, I will draw for turn.
Cut that too.
God, you got like how many cards in your graveyard? And like a full hand still?
4.
4? Okay. Alright, well we're gonna play Black Whirlwind.
Okay.
And then I will special attack against you. I'll play Soul Release
All right.
and banish, I guess, your whole graveyard because you have 4 monsters in there. All right.
All right.
I will summon Blizzard and then Black Whirlwind. I can add a Blackwing from my deck to my hand with attack less than Blizzard. So less than 13. I'll add Vayu, the Emblem of Honor. And then since I control a Blackwing, I can special summon good old boy Kalu. I will enter battle. I'll have Blizzard attack Swap Frog for 300. And then Kalut attack for 14.
All right.
Then main phase 2, I will go ahead and synchro into Magical Android.
Interesting.
And then I will set a card, and I will end my turn, so I gain 600 life points for every Psychic type monster on the field.
Okay.
And then I will end my turn, since, yeah.
All right. So I'll discard a water monster to special this guy.
Okay.
Then I'll... Your turn.
Alright. I will draw for turn. I will summon Shura, the Blue Flame. Black Whirlwind, so I can add a Blackwing of 1,800 less. I'll add
First
Gale.
printing.
I'll add Gale. Good old Gale. And I will ideally be going back in.
Okay.
Since I control Blackwing, I'll special summon my Gale. I will use Gale's effect to cut Swap Frog in half.
Okay.
Hero on him, so we know it's an H for half.
Cool.
I will then enter battle. I will have Shura attack Swap Frog for 13.
Okie dokie.
And then Shura, when it destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, I can special summon one Blackwing monster with 1,500 or less attack from my deck. The effects are negated.
Okay.
So, I will bring out, I guess, Kalut, because I probably should have left Value in my deck. And then I will have Magical Android attack the face down. Okay. Then I will have Kalut attack for 14. And then Gale attack for 13.
Okay.
And then main phase 2, I will go ahead and go Kalut and Gale into Brio.
Okay.
And then I will set a card and I will end my turn. So I gain 600.
Mm-hmm.
Nice little thing for the risk of an FTK.
Mm-hmm. Well, I finally drew that card,
That's probably good.
but it doesn't matter. That's that.
Yep, there we go. There was potential. Alright, so there we go. The technically the aftermath of Edison format. Realistically, I mean. I know I kept saying we were going into Edison for this, but we were kind of overshooting it a little bit. Since the Shining Darkness is out, and yeah, because I think Ronin Totem is from Shining Darkness.
From Shining Darkness?
Yeah.
Oh.
Get another,
Okay.
another little frog for the family, thanks to that set. So, it's going to be interesting now. We're going into 2011. I don't even know, really, what 2011 is, off the top of my head. So this is going to be an interesting
The
one.
year we graduated high school.
Yes, it's actually the year we graduated high school, so clearly we were kind of focusing on other things than Yu-Gi-Oh! At the time.
Our studies.
Yeah, our studies. I was not, realistically. But I was
I
not
wasn't
thinking
either.
of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or school at this point, which really shows. But, yeah, at least I can I get a little redemption with Black Wings,
Yeah.
thankfully. And you tried out a Frog FTK for the first time.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yes. I had some things lined up.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, we will see you guys on the next one
Damn.
once we figure out what 2011 is. But until then, be sure to check out those links down below. It helps out the channel, helps support these videos, 'cause, you know, expensive equipment to get stuff like this. And yeah, be sure to check out the Patreon as well too. See videos one day early. We will see you on the next one. Goodbye and good night.
Good night.